What? All right, says you are live.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Tawra with my mom, Jill. We are the authors of the Dining on a Dime cookbook. And on page 236, we are making meatloaf today. And our cookbook, if you want it, is 35% off for a pre-ordering sale. They will be here around October 25th, somewhere around there. Hopefully. They were supposed to be here next week, but the slow boat from China.
It's actually a slow boat.
It's actually a slow boat. It's actually not the slow boat from China. It's the slow boat from North Korea. But it has to pass through China. South Korea.
Wow.
Maybe Japan, maybe Taiwan or the Philippines. You hit them all.
Okay, well, let's just say the East somewhere. Okay, the East. Now, for those of you who don't know, Dining on a Dime Cookbook, Volume 1, Meatloaf, page 236 right there, is almost the identical recipe to barbecue meatballs on page 220. So, if, let's say, you're out of Worcestershire sauce or whatever, you're out of ingredient, go look at barbecue meatballs and see if you can make that. The meatloaf, do you know why moms have been making meatloaf for the last 150 years? Wait a minute, have they even had ground beef for 100? How long has ground beef been around? Now that you think about that,
Well, they used to.
400 years.
Yeah.
they would grind
They
it
had the
themselves, I guess.
grinders.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Well,
That would
I
be
mean,
gross.
there's a job nowadays for packaging meat, so it'd be
I
the
guess.
same thing.
So check both to see, because it's a very versatile recipe. I mean, it's really super simple. Then if you want the gluten-free version, right here, Dining on a Dime, 35% off, gluten-free, dairy-free. And then volume 2 is on pre-orders also. Okay, guys?
Got the blue cover.
And it has the new blue cover. Same wonderful book.
You still have gluten-free
It's-
books, though, in stock.
We
don't
still have gluten-free in stock. So it's the companion to volume 1. Volume 1 and 2 they go together, but they're totally different recipes in each book, okay? Gluten-free, dairy-free is this book, but everything's gluten-free, dairy-free. So,
This one.
yeah, so this one's the gluten-free. So hopefully everyone can get that. And no, I do not have a diabetic cookbook. We have determined that 2021 is the year of the diabetics. Last year, it was that thing going around. The year before that, it was the canners. The year before that, it was the vegans. And the year before that, it was the organic. So all of our comments have been around diabetics this year. And we do not have one. I'm sorry. But guys, a diabetic diet is super simple. Don't stress yourself out over it.
Mhm.
Okay. And yes, I have been on one. When I was pregnant, I got it. So
Several times.
totally there. Yeah. I just need to motivate myself to do it again because I just happen to like sugar. Okay. So I have my ground beef here. Now, this is something very different, interesting. Look here. It says 80% and 20% right there. But this label says 81% and 19%.
Huh.
See that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
So which is it?
Huh.
Somebody's not following something somewhere.
Good.
Now, sure, go ahead. Now, I make
That could fit
a
in the
mess
bowl.
because I did not get big enough. Okay. Well,
Do you guys have any idea what it was like when I was trying to teach Tawra how to cook?
you did not teach me how to cook.
I know, it
refused
just
how to
didn't
learn how to
work.
cook.
I know.
Okay, Dave, can you move your bigger bowl down there?
I wonder why.
So I am right down there. I am doing well, I'm really making a big mess. Oh, gotta love it.
Does this work?
Thank you. Okay, here we go. Boop. There.
And I would help you, but I don't want hamburger all over my hands. And
That's
good.
all right. Now, I do not wear gloves to make meatloaf. I am only wearing gloves today so that I don't have to walk around and wash my hands in the kitchen after I'm done. That's the only reason why I'm wearing them right now. Use your hands, people. That's why God gave you hands, was to make meatloaf. Now, this is just,
Yes,
maybe that should be my next saying. Now, this is a dump it all in recipe. You don't have to do anything really too exciting to it. You got your oatmeal. If you need gluten-free, just use gluten-free oats. You got your milk. Evaporated milk is what is recommended. I'm doing dairy-free so I can eat it today. You got your chili powder. You got your onion salt. You got your pepper. You got your salt. And I forgot my little container for my garlic powder. And yes, for all you germaphobes out there, I do wash off all of my spice things and my bottles when I'm done cooking. I just do a small amount of bleach water. And, oops, that's a little bit more than 1 tablespoon.
Well, more flavor. It's more flavor.
It's more flavor. Goodness gracious. Okay, now some other additional add-ins. You can add bacon crumble. You can add bacon grease, which I should have brought because bacon grease is really good. Bacon grease gives you the flavor without giving you the expense of bacon, okay? My hamburger wasn't totally
Or
done.
like me, I don't keep bacon on hand all the time or fried up or anything like that where I can use the bacon grease. I keep it on hand. Sausage.
You can add sausage. You can add any kind of cheese
Grated
that you
cheddar
like.
cheese. Mhm.
Cheddar cheese, pepper jack cheese. Now, mustard goes in meatloaf, dry mustard, but I didn't have any, so I'm just leaving it out. Any of those, really, anything that you can think of, blue cheese, oh my goodness, that would be delicious. Anything that you can think that you would put, like, on a hamburger.
Yeah, basically. Mm-hmm.
Is what you would put in meatloaf or
Sorry.
barbecue meatballs. Now, here's the thing about meatloaf and barbecue meatballs. Because the recipe is interchangeable, what I usually do is, like I did today, is I'm doing a batch and a half just because that's how much meat I happen to have defrosted. Woo! Oh, that could have been exciting. It's been a long day.
It's been a long year. What do you mean a long day?
It's been a long year, that's for sure.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh.
Okay, so because they're interchangeable, usually what I do is I make a double batch or triple batch.
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember the whole freezer cooking craze? What do you have to say about the freezer cooking craze, Mom?
Oh, you're asking me.
You have a lot to say about that.
Oh.
So here's the thing, guys. Mom and I have never understood why people invite 6 friends over or get all their kids around or whatever and spend an entire day completely destroying the kitchen to make freezer meals that take less than 20 minutes to make normally.
Well, I've actually calculated. A lot of people that have done them, I've got the hours that they spent doing it and the amount of people and that type of thing. And they really
You don't
didn't save any time
huh?
whatsoever. No time whatsoever. And then on top of that, what they had to do was they had to spend money on disposable pans and large gallon bags and stuff like that. So you're spending a little bit extra money on those types of things. And of course, running a freezer and everything. But I know a lot of you have a freezer anyway, but still, you know.
So here's our version of freezer cooking without wasting a whole bunch of time and money.
Yeah.
So what I do is I make a double, triple, however many pounds of hamburger I need to use up.
Of the meat. Do up your meat, you know,
So
and have
now,
it ready.
so what I'll do is I will make 1 or 2 meatloafs, and what I will do is I will line my pan with foil, okay? And then I take and freeze it and I'll do my meatballs in here. So I'll line my pan here, make up my meatballs, throw it in the freezer, let it freeze for like 2-3 hours. You don't need very long. Then, oh, thank you. I take it out of my pan and I put it in a freezer bag, and then I have freezer meals without taking a whole bunch of time. I took the same amount of time to mix this up as I did. I mean, okay, maybe you're spending an extra 5 minutes rolling your meatballs, I guess. But if you're doing all meatloaves, that wouldn't take any extra time hardly at all.
No,
And then you have your freezer meal without wasting a lot of time and money.
Yeah, if you have your meat ready, of any sort of meat, whether it's cooked chicken, in there, or the hamburger like this, it's very easy to add the other things to it, the mashed potatoes, the vegetables, the salads, and you can have a meal pretty quick, if you got your meat all prepared and everything. And I don't know, to me, it just takes less time, at least the same amount or less time of just doing a whole big freezer meal thing. I used to actually do freezer meal, got paid to do them. I had a lady that would come and she would pay me once a month, and I would do up all the freezer meals for a whole month. And this was like a job for me, but it was a lot of work, for 1 day or 2 days working on freezer meals. And so it's like anything else. When we talk about our cleaning and we say just take 5 minutes and get up and do a little bit and get it done, human nature is such that most of the time people do better if they can do things in smaller things.
People just make things way more complicated than they need to.
Yeah, but I mean, you procrastinate doing things because it takes so long to do. Yeah, Michael?
You have a question about if the meat was frozen when you started.
No.
They didn't hear what I
Oh,
was the meat frozen? No, the meat was not frozen.
No.
I mean, I had frozen it. I
thought it out.
I had it frozen, but I defrosted it before I did it. You can't make meatloaf with frozen meat. You wouldn't be able to make the meatballs or the
meatloaf.
Meatloaf, whatever.
But
that
people
stuff is
get
called.
overwhelmed if you think about having to spend all day cooking a whole bunch of meals. Some people don't, and that's fine,
Now, this looks really
Like
big, but normally I would use my 8x8 pan, and it's got brownies in it at the moment, and so I just put it in this one. But what I do if I only have one pan is I will put it in the freezer, put this back in the refrigerator, and then when these are frozen, take it out if I only had one pan. Now, I have enough pans for me that I don't need to do that, but if you don't have enough pans, that's how you could go about doing it, okay? Okay.
Do you have something, Michael?
Somebody had asked if they use peppers and onions. Do they cook them first? Or
No. If you use peppers or onions, then just put them in uncooked if you want. Now, I forgot. My family doesn't like barbecue sauce. So I'm just going to freeze these like it is, and then I will put the sauce on later if you want ketchup or barbecue sauce or whatever. Now, the homemade barbecue sauce in Dining on a Dime Cookbook, Grandma's barbecue sauce, that is the best barbecue sauce ever.
It totally changed the taste of the barbecue meatballs if you use just bottled.
Yeah.
You can do it that way if you're in a pinch. But
I didn't have any liquid smoke.
Yeah, but the homemade is just unreal.
Okay, so after all that, this is what it looks like. And then, through the magic of the internet.
Wait, do I keep the camera down?
Nope, you can come back up.
Alrighty.
We have meatballs right there.
Meatballs or meatloaf?
This is meatballs.
Oh, is it? I can't see.
I didn't have enough time to cook meatloaf. Well, let me rephrase that. It's 95 degrees today, so I didn't want to spend a half an hour
with the oven
longer cooking the oven. But there's the meatballs. The meatloaf, you just cook it longer. Okay? All right. Now, you can see that recipe took me, 10 minutes in the kitchen? Everybody makes all a mess. Everybody makes such a big deal out of cooking, But guys, if you would just use easy recipes, stop using recipes that call for shiitake mushrooms and all this crazy stuff. Use easy recipes.
And if you had done this and didn't make meatballs, but made 2 meatloaves, and have leftovers, if you have can I talk about leftovers for them? If you have leftover meatloaf, take, of course, all of you know, like meatloaf sandwiches. A lot of people love meatloaf sandwiches, but you can take cereal. Well, I use wax paper. You can use wax paper, or you can take the wax paper out of cereal boxes and cut those up and keep little squares of those. And then when you have something like meatloaf left over, just slice it into slices and put the wax paper in between them and stick them in a bag in a freezer. And then you can bring them out and use them for different things. For example, you can take and cut them into cubes and use them in spaghetti sauce or you can crumble it up into spaghetti sauce. You can do it like with the jar sauce. It makes the jar sauce taste a little bit more homemade when you have homemade meatloaf, chunks of it in there, the meat in there. You could use it for lasagna. You could crumble it up and add taco seasoning.
Did you say spaghetti?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I was looking up something, so I didn't hear.
Taco seasoning crumble it up, the meatloaf, and
Make
use
tacos,
it. Make tacos, enchiladas,
tostadas, burritos.
Any type of casserole, hamburger casserole you can do.
Mexican casserole, hamburger casserole. You could do the regular hamburger casserole in here with the macaroni and tomato sauce and just sprinkle it in there.
Shepherd's pie, you could use it. So here you've got just these couple of leftovers from meatloaf, and you can do all these different. And on our book, Tara's got but in the leftover book, just look under beef, and it's got a whole list of everything. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't.
So we have a tip index, a leftover index. So right here, see, here's our leftover index. So what happened was we wrote the book, and then when we had a publisher for just a few years, but they said, oh, you should put leftovers in there. Well, so we did, and here's beef right there.
And look at the whole list of different types of meals you can make with those leftover beef. And so you can do a lot of different things by just keeping that leftover hamburger, frozen in the thing. And you can add, if you make meatloaf and you have 2 slices in there, next time you make a meatloaf, you can just keep adding to it in case you need more, for something. You can put it in a soup in the wintertime, make up like a vegetable soup, and then add chunks of the meatloaf in there at that time. So you can do a lot of stuff with the leftovers. When we talk about leftovers, everybody panics and says, my family won't eat them, but they will if you use them like that.
Don't tell them they're leftovers. You're pre-cooking for the next meal.
Exactly. Yes, Michael.
We have some other meatloaf questions. Well, some people were talking about saving on meatloaf, and Genevieve suggested that you could use half lentils and half meat, and it costs less than.
Yes, you can.
You can.
And you can use a little bit more oatmeal to make it less expensive. Genevieve said use lentils or something like that. You can also add a little bit more oatmeal, like 1 more cup of oatmeal, and that makes it a little bit more, what do you call it? Bulkier and less meat too.
And Vicky asked, and someone else was wondering too, if it's possible to make it with chicken.
Not really.
Not really chicken.
There's probably a chicken meatloaf out there.
There
but I've never
would be.
heard.
You'd have
ground turkey.
Yeah, you could grind up the chicken, but you need something to bind it together. I suppose you could use egg to bind it. I don't know.
Just use ground turkey.
Yeah, you could try that with ground. I don't know.
And oops, sorry, I'm clicking the wrong emoji. Okay, Genevieve was wondering what is in liquid smoke. Do you have any idea?
I have no idea what's in liquid smoke.
I don't either, but if you have any kind of a sauce or something where you're from, it gives it a smoky flavor like barbecue, not barbecue sauce, but like you've cooked something on a grill, on an outdoor grill.
And if you can't get liquid smoke, use bacon grease.
Yeah, you can replace bacon grease or even put a little dab of barbecue sauce in there. That'll help a little bit.
Hold on, I'm trying to see if we have the ingredients here.
For liquid
smoke.
And
Oops.
I think it's one spice that it's underused, and it's
I use it all the time.
I know it adds such a good flavor, but I mean most people haven't even heard of it, let alone use. I put it in my beef stew, and it just changes the whole thing. My chili, I put liquid smoke in my chili that makes it really, really yummy.
Denise is wondering if you're going to make mashed potatoes too.
Yeah. I mean, I
That's a
usually
perfect-
do.
That's a perfect, what you call 1950s meal is meatloaf with mashed potatoes, salad, and green beans or something like that. So,
Okay,
mixed
liquid
vegetables.
smoke, water, hickory smoke flavor, vinegar, molasses, caramel color, and salt.
That's what's in it. So if you can find something that has something a little bit similar to that.
Yeah, Judy said she made turkey meatballs today, added quick oats and spices, and it made 20 meatballs, enough for 5 servings.
Yeah.
Mm. But once again, use bacon grease if you don't have it, because people don't think to do that, and it adds a really good flavor.
Because bacon usually has the hickory flavor in it, and sometimes the brown sugar flavors and maple flavor. So that's why bacon grease is a good substitute for it.
Yep.
So Wanda's wondering if ground beef is the only meat that you pre-cook.
Wanda's wondering if ground beef is the only meat I pre-cook. You mean for me cooking or for meatloaf? She must mean me cooking. No, I pre-cook all of my meats. So I'll cook up, if I have 5 or 10 pounds of hamburger, I'll just cook it all up at once. You just drop them both on the floor. Well, I would say the 5-second rule.
So now they don't have any sauce.
Well, they're very delicious.
Wait, you watch Mom for 30 seconds, and if she doesn't die, then it was the 5-second rule.
Yes.
Still delicious.
But you can do chicken.
So I pre-cook chicken. So if I get a rotisserie chicken, or if I bake, like my lemon chicken that I put on our recipe channel yesterday, you can go over there. Oh, I forgot we're not supposed to do that. Sorry.
You can tell them to go there. Just
We changed the name though. So we changed the name to my recipe channel from 5 ingredient recipes to super easy recipes, because I found out 5 ingredients was kind of limiting me. Not a lot, but I have a lot of recipes that have 6 ingredients. I'm like, oh, brother. So it's called super easy recipes now. You guys are looking for it. But turkey is a big one that I do. I will roast a turkey, and I will get the biggest turkey I can for the price. And then I roast the entire thing, and then I put it in the little fold top sandwich bags and put it in a freezer bag. Then I just pull out turkey packets after Thanksgiving when I make a turkey meal, or if I make a turkey meal other than Thanksgiving, because I love turkey. I would eat it all year. Then what I will do is cook double or triple potatoes or whatever. And then you saw how I lined the pan with foil. I'll just put turkey on one side, mashed potatoes on another side, my green beans or broccoli or whatever my vegetable is on the other side, and then pour my gravy over my mashed potatoes if I'm using it. Then I wrap all that up, put it in the freezer, and then I just pull out completed turkey dinner packets. And then I just stick that back in my pan and cook it at 350 until it's warmed through. And I have dinner already made that literally takes me 2 minutes to make.
What I do is I take chicken, like if I have a bag of chicken thighs, I will put them in the oven, and I'll put some of them in a small pan and put barbecue sauce on them to slow cook them in barbecue sauce. And I put others on another pan where I just don't put anything on them and let them roast. And that way then I can use the roast I can make chicken salad. I grind up the chicken meat to make chicken salad sandwiches. Casseroles, of course, chicken noodle soup. I also do that on the stove. If I have like 5 or 6 thighs, I'll throw a pot of water on the stove and I'll just cook them slowly, cook them all day, and they just fall off the bone. I don't even hardly have to pick the bone off because they just fall to pieces, slow cooking them. And then I'll bag up those pieces into small bags and keep them in the freezer. And then you've got chicken and dumplings. I save the broth, and I can make chicken soup from it. And keep it in the freezer when I want some chicken soup then, and just pull it out and do it like that, divide it up.
Yeah. Okay, any other meatloaf questions, Mike, real quick?
I don't see any more at the moment.
Okay, so yesterday we went to the thrift store, and let me show you this. Okay. Okay. So. Oh wait. How do I show myself up? So okay.
phone.
Oh, I'm still talking.
Yesterday, we
Why?
went to the thrift store.
How,
and
where am
let
I
me
talking?
Show you this.
Just hit
Oh,
mute button.
okay. I can't because I want to show them something. Okay, here we go. Are you guys ready? Sorry.
Can you expand
Look.
the picture?
Look at what we found.
Because they have to see this.
Oh.
You have to,
Why did it not go out?
I don't know. There it is. You got to really
Guys,
see
I'm standing
this.
here at the thrift store. Do I remake the world's ugliest couch? Let me know in the comments. I don't know. Okay, Mom, what's your 2 cents on the world's ugliest couch?
Don't make me comment, please.
Don't make you comment. Dave, what's your 2 cents? He says, Mom, even YouTube has to have standards. He's just saying. All right, guys, let me know if I should do the world's ugliest couch or not. Okay, so for those of you on Facebook who saw my world's ugliest couch yesterday, do you want to know what the decision was? I don't know. Maybe they don't want to know the decision. So I found the world's ugliest couch, and it was only $10.
Not only was it ugly, it stunk to high heaven.
And it
I'm
was
sorry.
totally falling apart.
Oh, it was awful.
It was absolutely
It had
falling apart.
jumping-
Guys,
it
let me
had-
know if-
It had jumping spiders in it. We're talking, it doesn't get a whole lot worse.
It was bad. And I thought, oh my goodness, this would make a viral video. Was that not the absolute most ugliest thing you've ever seen? But we decided not to.
Lots of no's, exclamation points. And then right in the middle of the nose, Debbie says, go for it.
So here's the thing. It would probably cost me about $350 in materials to recover it, which isn't frugal. But from a business standpoint, you guys have to realize I would probably make $5,000 to $10,000 in ad revenue remaking
If
this.
it went viral and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
So from a business standpoint, it was probably a smart move. But we have so much going on now with trying to unpack, and I've already got a ton of furniture in the garage that I'm refinishing for videos, that I decided, I'm just going to go ahead and wait for right now and not do it.
I love what Dave said, though. He said even YouTube has standards, certain standards. Leave it to Dave.
So, yeah,
Oh,
so
it
I
was
decided to pass. But anyway. Okay. Any other comments or questions, dear? I saw some in here if you didn't.
I did put a link in for the recipe channel. In theory, we're not supposed to link to individual videos.
Okay, so Mike put a link for the recipe channel for those of you who were looking for it. There was...
Oh, Nancy said, hello, sweet Jill and Tara.
Hi, Nancy.
So wonderful. Love keeping on with all that's going on in your life.
Ooh, so Nancy likes watch. So that's what we're trying to figure out. We're wondering why people actually watch us.
Mm-hmm.
So as we're trying to figure out what we're doing with our YouTube channel, we're trying to figure out why people watch us. So comment and let us know. Why do you watch us? Because I told Mike today, I said, maybe we just aren't good at this YouTube thing. Maybe we just don't know what we're doing.
She didn't say it in such a nice way.
Well, I said, I think we're a complete and total failure at this YouTube thing. But he said, well, yeah, but we're making money. I said, well, I know, but I'm not sure that it's worth it. So, yeah, I don't know. So tell us in the comments, guys, especially if you're watching this later.
And it's not a trick question. We just,
No, seriously.
Yeah.
we think that people are watching. That for different reasons than we think they are. Does that make sense?
So, yeah, so we think people watch us for different reasons than what? That didn't make sense.
It made sense to me, Michael.
Well, like we've always assumed that people were watching for one reason, but now it seems like it's probably other reasons. And so that's why why we're
yeah.
asking, just to see what you say if we don't prompt you.
So the analytics tell us something different than what people tell us. So what people actually watch and how long they watch it is different than what people
What real people
yeah.
are saying.
So yeah. So anyway, let's see.
Sandy is completely the comedy relief.
Comedy relief.
Oh my goodness, maybe I should stop taking out the bloopers and just leave them
Leave the
in.
bloopers in.
Okay.
Or you should see what goes on while we're setting up right before we start too. Some of the things that
We need to have a pre-show, the Living on a Dime pre-show and after show.
yeah, we should.
Oh,
That's
my
usually
goodness.
the funniest part.
Yeah. Okay. Because we have
speaking of
common sense
comedy,
ideas.
Speaking of comedy relief, you know, I'm staying in their basement now, and I hear things downstairs that I sit down there and I'm thinking, what in the world are they doing now up there? The noise is really strange sometimes. And so last night there was this noise, thump, 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 thump. I thought, are Mike and Tara taking up folk dancing? I mean, this thump, 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 thump kept going on. And I thought, what in the world? And I was getting ready to run up here, and then all of a sudden it stopped. And I thought, I just couldn't figure out what they were doing on the living room floor. Well, come to find out this morning, it was Dave in there doing jumping jacks, and it sounded like all this, they were dancing or something like that. So we were talking about that. Well, I happened to think of it. We were talking about that while we were setting up, and Dave was doing his acrobatics and stuff
So
beforehand.
Cheryl paid off 2 bills.
Whoa, way
She has
to
her car
go.
left. You go, girl. That is great.
I love it when you guys do that.
That is great.
It seems like we're getting more and more people who've been with us for a while, and they're getting so good. They're paying all their stuff off, and it's really exciting when you guys listen. It's like having kids and they actually listen to you.
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
So, we were going to talk. Oh, yeah, I remember what we were going to talk about. So today, Mom and I didn't film it, but I probably should have. We worked on the big garage.
Oh, yes, we worked on the big garage.
Holy moly. So we have this wonderful 2,000 square foot shop/garage that all the books are coming next month. By the way, 30% off our pre-order sale. Did you see how I did that?
Yeah, I saw that. That was a good sneaking in there.
So we were in the big garage, and I have all this furniture that I've collected over the last month that I'm refinishing. It's a huge mess. Every time I find something from the other part of the house, I got to take it out there. It's just dumped. Driving me nuts.
Well, for those of you that haven't followed us, there's 2 households that have just moved stuff into this house, besides all the furniture you've been collecting on top of that. So you talk about a mess and then some. We do have it.
Yeah. So I've got a house full of furniture in the garage as it is that I'm refinishing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, part of it is I'm trying to decide what colors to paint because I don't have curtains in here, and I don't like the curtains that are in here, but the curtains that are in here are really hard to replace. As a matter of fact, I don't even know how I'm going to replace them. But so I'm trying to make a decision on all this furniture. It's just sitting there driving me crazy. Well, Mike and the boys 2 weeks ago got all the big shelves in the garage put up, or assembled, I should say, that we brought from the old house. So Mom and I got a huge, like a quarter of the garage,
We got quite a bit done. Yeah, amazingly.
organized today, and it feels so glorious.
Well, it's nice too because we've got the shelves now up against the walls where when she goes out there, she's got the shelves all standing ready to go. So she can just move 2 or 3 things from the pile and set them on the shelf where she wants them.
So now when I find stuff in the other part of the house,
You can carry it out there and
I
put
can
it on
actually
the shelf.
put it where it belongs
Mhm.
and not just dump it.
Because when you don't have the shelves, and that's a good tip,
Mhm.
when you're moving, the first thing you need to get done is to get your shelves put up in the garage or whatever room you have. Get the shelves in your closets and those types of things wiped off and cleaned so that as you're unboxing a box, you can just automatically put the stuff, in there. The shelves will all be ready.
Yep. Yeah, so that feels glorious, absolutely glorious. And I worked on the world's ugliest table that I saved from the dump. And that is almost done. I think tomorrow it'll be done, and you guys are going to be shocked if it works. I don't know if
think
it's
it's
going to
going to
work.
be cute.
if
we can get it to
we
work.
can get the top to work, it's going to turn out fabulous.
It'll
And you
be
guys are
cute.
going to be like, oh my goodness, Tara, the world's ugliest table was transformed into a butterfly.
Listen to you, to a butterfly. Oh, should I tell him, speaking of moving and unpacking, should I tell him about what happened with my house, how the houses aren't selling?
Oh, yeah, you can.
You know, I was, most of those of you that, like I said, that have been with us, my house sold. It was in Wichita. Now, they're really, I know houses are selling like crazy all over the country, but Wichita, well, let's just say there's not a run on Kansas at this point of people wanting to move into Kansas.
I don't know why.
There never has been a run on Kansas of people wanting to move in. If you drive across the main highway of Kansas, as you drive along, all what you'll see on each side of you is empty fields. There's not a whole lot moving to Kansas. So even though the rest of the country, the houses are going like crazy, and the market has picked up in Wichita, in my area, like I told you before, the houses were not selling. And when I sold my house in one day and had the 15 contracts, I mean, guys, I really think that was just an absolute miracle. I don't even know what else to call it. It was so strange and so weird. And you had to have been there just to know how fast it went and how it just happened. But I had a lot of people say, well, houses are selling everywhere and they're going really, really fast like that, as if that was no big deal. But I tried to keep explaining, not in my neighborhood and not in Wichita that much, a little bit, but not that much.
Well, your neighborhood was pretty bad.
It was bad, yeah. And houses were not selling. Well, I talked to my neighbor today. There were 2 houses that went up on the market the week after mine. Nobody's even touched them. And one,
So in her corner, so mom lived on a corner, and you had 1, 2, 3, 4 houses all go up for sale within a month of your house. Five houses. So
not
literally,
including mine,
so literally, if you took all the houses around mom's house
on each side,
and everything,
back front.
out of the 2, 3, 4, okay, out of the 6 houses, she had 5 go on the market. Out of 6 houses, 5 went on the market.
At pretty much the same
Yeah.
time. And they haven't sold. Mine was the only one that sold. And they've been on that market ever since July. Was that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They went up on the end of July.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I found that out this morning. My neighbor called and she said the houses still are not selling. She just can't believe it because she was in shock when mine sold like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she had sort of a better house than mine because it was like twice the size and been totally remodeled. 2 of them have been completely gutted and remodeled and redone. Just beautiful. They're not selling. And my ugly old little thing it just went in one day. And I'm just amazed. I think God wanted us here for some reason. I have no
I don't
idea
know.
because this whole thing has been so strange. It's just like, why we just moved to Wyoming. I mean, we up and moved before, but it was just really different this time, you know.
Well, this whole move is kind of weird.
It
As a matter
is.
of fact, almost every single day, I think, what in the world
are
are
we
we doing
doing
here?
here? I know. I keep thinking, I love it. I mean, I totally
I
love
really
it.
like it.
But it was just it just wasn't on the horizon or in my mind or anything.
Never
And-
on the radar for anything.
Actually, I told Tara, I'm not going to say which one, but some guys from my Bible study in Colorado said, hey, we know these people and they're part of a newer church up there, and I have you ever thought maybe God's calling you to have something to do with them? And I didn't, I just was like, well, yeah, I mean, I know he's
You
calling
can
us for
come
something.
around if you're gonna.
We'll let you on the camera, Michael, today.
So at my Bible study group in Colorado, one of the guys said, have you ever thought that God might be calling you there to do something there with you? And I was like, well, yeah, he does that everywhere we go in our lives. But he gave me the name of somebody and said, these people we know at this newer church, they helped start it not that long ago. And so we visited a whole bunches of churches and finally came down to this last one and went there and said, probably the others aren't going to be that likely to work out for us. So then I contacted my friend back and I said, hey, I forgot who it was that you said I should contact about that church. And it was the one that we had decided we'll probably end up going to.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny.
So it was funny that way too, because it's just like everything seems to fall right into place.
Yeah.
And
yeah, but every
we've seen it
day.
before, but we see it more this time than any time before this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But every day we're just kind of like, okay, what in the world are we doing here?
I know.
It's kind of
It's
weird.
just a
Yeah.
strange feeling for some reason.
But here's a tip on selling your house real quick. So one reason,
Your son is stalking the meatballs, Deborah says.
yes, he is. Here's one thing about moving.
do it.
Clean, well, yeah, don't do it.
No.
But if you're gonna do it when you're showing your house the inspection or anything, clean your house thoroughly.
Mm-hmm.
People do not understand how that comes through. I mean, you may not consciously think, oh, this house is dirty, the stove isn't totally clean or anything, but it turns you off when a house is not completely cleaned.
Well, another thing, if
Like the drawers have spaghetti sauce dripped in them, or the oven is filthy
it's
and
never
not
been cleaned,
never been
probably since
cleaned.
they-
Yeah.
But one thing too that tells you about the house, if the people aren't taking care of just the surface stuff outside, even if they got laundry piled up and the beds are unmade and the stuff's piled on the chest of drawers, this tells me that they can't take care of the surface stuff. There's no way they're going to take care of the maintenance,
Mhm.
the inside plumbing and all the little things that go wrong and need fixed on a regular basis or maintained on a house. So if they're not keeping the surface stuff maintained, there is no way they're keeping all that hidden stuff maintained. And I think that psychologically people realize that. So if you have the house really, really clean, it gives you the illusion, or the people think that you keep the house up. Well, I don't know what else to call it, but it's just like you think they must take care of it and stuff or something. What are you laughing
You
at?
see all the glasses?
Why are you wearing 2 pairs of glasses, dear?
I totally didn't even realize that I was doing it right now. Well, so it's just because I'm getting older. And I used to need glasses only for seeing distance, and now I need them for seeing close. And I have bifocals, but I struggle with them, and they mostly work for me when I'm sitting down, looking up and down like at church. And other than that, it's hard to have both lenses. So I have one that's distance and one that's kind of medium. And I totally forgot I was wearing them both. I told Tawra the other day that I had a friend in Kansas who was doing this, and he was 10 years older than me at the time. And now I know why. So basically, these are I can read the computer glasses, and these are if somebody comes to the door and I need to check it out glasses. So
I was laughing when Michael, a few years back, started getting older and he had to have bifocals. He came to me and he said, now, how long will will I have to wear these bifocals, or can I go to the doctor and have something fixed so I don't have to wear bifocals anymore? And I said, no, you're pretty much going to have bifocals for the rest of your life. He was hoping that it was just a little temporary thing that he could fix real quick. But I hate to tell him it was old age.
I was just thinking about eye surgery like Ellie and BJ got.
Yes. So Frankie says she saved $8,000 this year using Dining on a Dime Cookbook.
Oh, we were talking about you, Frankie.
She appreciated the shout out, she said.
Yeah, it was unreal.
So Sandra wants to know, how often do we purge our wardrobe? How many items of clothing do you keep in your home? So we actually have a whole article that's been one of our top articles, actually. How many clothes do you need? I'll put the link in here, but go ahead, Mom, give them. I'll put the link to the article here on our website, but Mom will give you the condensed version.
What I usually do is when I switch my clothes over from summer to winter clothes, I always go through and purge them and get rid of stuff. And you've got to be ruthless. If you haven't been wearing it, if you really don't like it, and get rid of it. And also, don't keep anything like jeans and dresses that you had when you were in high school and you think you're going to be able to squeeze back into them. Most of that stuff will be out of style by the time you get squeezed back into them, if you happen to, but rarely do people get squeezed back into this stuff. And if you can't get into them now and you think you're going to lose enough weight to get back into them, the thing is, when that happens, you're going to be so excited losing that weight. You're going to want a whole new wardrobe just about, or get things different. So don't cling to stuff. Don't cling to that prom dress, those 10 prom dresses that you have wonderful memories. Just take a picture and get rid of the dress. It's like a lot of other things that you keep and have memories of. You have to just get rid of the things. But I do it twice a year. When I get my summer stuff out and when I do my
twice a year, I do everybody's clothes in the whole house. We go through twice a year.
And then another tip is think about what you actually need. Now, some people say, well, this list isn't going to work for me because I do this or I do that. Then adjust it for what you need. For example, let's say you need dresses to go to church. All right, you go to church four Sundays a month. You don't need 15 dresses for those 4 Sundays, because if you think about it, you're going to wear, if you have just 4 dresses, you only wear that 4 times in 1 month, those 4 dresses, or one time, each dress, one time in a month. Nobody's going to remember at church that you wore that dress at the end of May when you're wearing it at the end of June. So you don't need as many as you think. A lot of times we just want the new stuff, which is fine. If you've got the money for it, that's perfectly fine. I love, getting new stuff too. Yes, Michael? Oh, and so really figure out, okay, do you need 5 pairs of black pants? Why? I mean, unless you only wear one, say you wear 1 pair a week, you don't need 5 pairs of black pants. So look at all those t-shirts. Look at those 25 t-shirts you have in there. Do you have 10 white t-shirts? If they're all the same, there's no reason to keep that many. So just sit down and go through, and think about it. So what you really need.
Okay, so for all of you who are complaining, sometimes on the show when I'm going, Mike's showing me a comment and I'm responding with a facial expression so I don't interrupt with mom, okay?
If she's making strange faces, it's not at you guys. It's usually Mike and the boys are behind doing motions, sign language, and she's trying to do this and talk to them at the same time. So I don't know how she does it, because then she's trying to watch your comments too. So she's doing all these things. I can't even hardly just sit here and talk to you.
So,
let alone.
Hello, she's in her apron. I love you still. I haven't been over to see for a while, but Marie says, what simple dinners have you been making for dinner since you moved? So here's the thing. And then to go along with that, do I love my double oven? Well, here's the thing. I'm actually going to do a video on this. I absolutely hate my new kitchen. As a matter of fact, I hate it so much, I am not exaggerating. The last 3 mornings, I have woke up with nightmares about my kitchen. I'm literally losing sleep over my new kitchen because I hate it so much. Oh, I didn't know you were here. Sorry. I'm sorry. Yes.
Do you not like the double ovens?
I do not. So here's the thing. The double ovens might be okay, but there's a convection oven or something in there. I don't know. And it makes the most horrible, it goes.
Yeah. It's really loud.
It's obnoxious. Mm-hmm. So I don't like the ovens. The way my kitchen arranged, I'm going to do a video on it, but there's nowhere for me to prepare food. I literally have no countertop to prepare food. I really don't.
Because you can't see on the other side of this, but she has a sink with just about this
18,
much.
Not even 18 inches,
no,
probably 12 inches.
12 to 15 inches or something.
Yeah, maybe 15.
On each side, and that's all she's got by the sink, to prep. I have to admit, usually I can find a way in a kitchen to make it work and be organized and run smoothly. But this kitchen, we have tried really hard.
As a matter of fact, it's so bad. The other day, I don't know where Mike and the boys went. Oh, Ellie visited this weekend. So Ellie was here this weekend. So Mike and the boys went with her down to the park. She got a one wheel And so they were down at the park playing with her one wheel. And while they were gone, I was just like, I'm going to take a hammer to it. They can't do anything once I take a hammer to it. It's just going to have to start all over.
You just have to wait till March to fix
So,
it.
I was like, I'm going to take a hammer to it.
Like on her stove, she only has about this much space. So if she has to take something off of the stove to set or move or out of the refrigerator,
Yeah.
she has no place to really put anything.
And I guess the double ovens for Thanksgiving might be okay. But honestly, I have made Thanksgiving dinner for 27, how many years have we been married? 27 years. Most of those, probably, 23 of those years I've made Thanksgiving dinner. And no, we don't have 20 people over. The most we've ever had was 10 or 11 people. But I've never had a need
Yeah.
for
And
a double oven.
Well, my
for
mom would
two.
have at least 25 every
And
Thanksgiving.
she never had a
She
double
had
oven.
25 people for things just during the week all the time for different things and cooked tons. But
Yeah.
she did with just the single oven. But really, the double ovens wouldn't be quite so bad. It's the convection part that makes noise.
Yeah, it's
I had a
awful.
convection oven and I couldn't use it because it was the noise stuff, of course, once again, bothers us, but it didn't really cook anything any faster. I timed it for
Mm-mm.
several things and it didn't make any difference.
So no, I can't use the island for prepping, and I'm gonna do a video on showing it. But there's a sink right in the middle of it, and then you've got this top part. I have nowhere to prep anything.
This whole
It's-
bath counterpart is just kind of wasted. It's just a place to put knickknacks and lay
Yeah.
things. She can't really use that
Mm-mm.
space too much or anything.
So I'm gonna do a video because all of you guys who are good kitchen aficionados, I'm trying to decide if I should just try and work with the island and get the dishwasher removed and fix the island, or if I should just redo the whole kitchen.
So now Mike is back. Well, a couple people said if you didn't like the kitchen, why did you buy it? Well,
That
thing
was actually, okay, hold on. So that's one reason why it took me like 8 hours to decide to buy it.
but one thing that
She
we were
did
thinking
say it
is
before.
Yeah.
we had some really super specific needs, and it wouldn't be that difficult for us to reconfigure the kitchen
Yeah.
when we have the money again. And so what we were thinking about doing is removing the dishwasher from here, and then we don't use this bar like a sitting next to it bar, and I don't think the people before us did either. So we'd probably remove the bar, go with kind of a flat countertop like we had at the other house that's bigger, possibly have like a stove on one end of it or something, and then kind of put the dishwasher in a different location. So basically we'd be just moving things around. The kitchen would stay the same in terms of how it looks probably, but we would then just move things to where it's more convenient for Tara, or for all of us really, but for
Mostly
Tara.
just readjust this island.
So
thing.
just basically the island would be the part that we would strip it down and rebuild it, which actually wouldn't really be that difficult because the other day Jack and I were fixing some plumbing things and I realized they actually built a little wall here, and then later on they put a cabinet on the other side of it. So it wouldn't be that difficult for us to redo this, but we're kind of at a point of waiting till all the books arrive and kind of get back into the swing of things before we spend the kind of money we might need to spend to do that. So
Yeah.
yeah. So that
Yeah.
was the main thing, is that where the house is and other parts of what's going on with it are things we can't change. But we were thinking with the kitchen, we can change the things that we don't like about it. But
Yeah.
in the moment, though, it's driving her crazy, and I don't blame her.
I'm not kidding. I have woke up the last 3 mornings actually like having a nightmare / panic attack over the stupid kitchen. I don't get panic attacks. Anxiety is not something that I have an issue with. Oh my word. I
It's
tried,
pretty
what did I
bad.
try to make? What did I,
Well,
what
the
did-
salad, the day
Oh,
you were trying to make
pasta
the
salad.
salad. and
I
stuff.
tried to make a salad.
Okay.
Oh my word. I couldn't even make a salad. I made pasta salad for dinner last night. It was awful. I was dumping stuff in the sink because I had 15 inches to work. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So Vicky, if moving the dishwasher, you'll have to move the plumbing. Very expensive. So here's the thing.
No.
The other location, there's another sink already there with plumbing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that kind of plumbing, I usually do that myself because it's not super complicated if there's already some nearby. So that shouldn't be too hard. And a lot of this work we can do ourselves.
So here's the
And
thing.
probably
So
will.
any of you who have DIY husbands or know what they're talking about, so start prepping them that they're going to need to watch this video so you can help us solve it. Because I think what I'm going to have to do is just take a chainsaw and just chainsaw a third of my island down.
No.
Can we just remove the
And then
whole
just
island and
I think
slash the whole
what she's
thing
going to
and
need to
sink
do
it.
is let her husband do it.
Oh no.
I think I should
Big
chainsaw
trouble.
it. So,
I guess the chainsaw would get a lot of views, that's for sure. But then who's going to reconstruct
so
it?
I think that's going to be Monday's video. I think if I can get it shot.
Monday.
No, not chainsawing
I was
it.
gonna say.
Asking for ideas. If you
Like,
guys have
okay.
ideas on what to, because you guys have seen that 1949 kitchen video that's like the most popular video ever on kitchen remodel. You saw it.
Mhm.
That's like the most brilliant kitchen ever. They would actually use their brains. Do you know why? Because a woman who actually cooked in the kitchen
Designed it.
designed it.
Mm-hmm.
This was before women started working, and they actually made a kitchen that women cooked in. Someone designed it practical.
And you know, I'm
And that's-
wondering if that's why a lot of women
Don't
kind of
cook.
want to cook anymore, because they don't design kitchens
It's such a
that
pain in the
well.
butt to cook.
Yeah, it is.
I had to take off my other pair of glasses.
Even like I noticed the cabinets in my new house, they're so high up that I can use like one shelf, the bottom shelf on these huge, I have a lot of cabinets,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't reach anything in any of them. Even adjusting the shelves, I can't reach very well, you know, so
Yeah.
they needed to be lowered just a little bit and things like that. So I wonder if that's why a lot of gals don't like cooking, because their kitchens are just driving
I
crazy.
know.
But
Well, and a lot of people said, can I just put a cutting board on top of the sink? Not really,
uh-uh.
because the sink is right in the middle. So now I've got uneven surfaces. And so the cutting board would fall on, everything would fall on one side or the other side. I mean, it would be okay.
it's just very awkward. And the thing
But
is, she's got a dish drainer
I
she
don't
puts
know.
in one side with dishes in. A lot of times we have dishes in there that we just keep rinsing
Yeah.
and putting in there. So we'd have to get rid of the clean all that out before we could put the cutting board across.
So Barbara, thank you, Barbara. Haven't looked yet. She said the Wyoming Chainsaw Massacre. Hey, I think Tara takes a chainsaw to her kitchen would go viral.
You think?
I gotta tell you, dear, I see the wheels a turn in here. That would be easier than the couch.
I would, yeah, taking a chainsaw to anything would be easier than that couch.
Oh, I think that's a great idea. Okay, so now here's one for you, Mom, who likes
Judy
Homer.
says, put on a Jason mask and chainsaw and put on video right after Halloween.
That's a good idea. So, Angie says, you've got to let us know about the man situation there. According to all the Hallmark movies, Wyoming and Montana are dripping with rich single ranchers. Have you found yourself a rich
right.
single rancher?
Do you guys want the truth? How do you do this tactfully?
Don't give them the truth, Mother.
How do I do this tactfully?
This is our new home.
I know. No,
She was a little quirky. We'll just leave it there.
let's just say ranchers and farmers, I love them to death. I do.
I wouldn't call them husband material. Hey, my grandfather was a
Rancher.
rancher.
Don't
farmer.
even go there. Oh my goodness, that's the worst example in the
And-
world.
I would not recommend it. I don't know how my grandmother did it. Sorry, all the family who's watching, but
The reality.
I don't know
Okay,
how my
here's
grandmother
the reality, guys.
did it.
On the Hallmark movies, you see this big hunking guy with his cowboy hat, and he's been working out, but they don't show the sweaty smell that they hadn't been able to take a shower for
The
a couple
pickup
of days.
that you can't get into because it's so filthy and stuffed with
Sturdy
stuff.
inside. You can't climb into this nasty pickup half the time. They're covered in cow manure on their boots and, cookie stuff all over their shirts. And this is their livelihood. So this is the way they're going to be a lot of the time. And if you like that kind of thing, then as far as wealthy goes,
Actually, as far as wealthy goes, a lot of farmers and ranchers aren't wealthy. Now, there are a lot that
Yeah.
are, but there's a lot that aren't.
Yeah,
too.
there's not the big mega
They're in
ranches
hock up to
running
their eyeballs.
Yeah, because they have lots of problems with weather and losing cattle for different reasons and stuff like that. So that's reality, guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
goodness.
see.
But if I find one, I will let you know and send pictures.
The Blackstone rookie says, I paid off my credit card. Very good.
There you go.
$100
Very
left on
good.
student loans.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Good
That's
job.
something. Get those student loans down.
Good job. Good job.
So if we redid the bar, would you want it smaller? I mean, not smaller height-wise, but smaller footprint?
I would just leave the same footprint because, first of all, you'd have to match the flooring.
Oh, yeah.
So matching the flooring would be a huge pain in the butt.
Mhm.
And then you'd
Then you
have
get to another
weird
expense.
flooring things and the expense. No, I would just keep it the same size.
Kimberly, I'm married to a farmer. I hear you.
Am I right, Kimberly? Am I right? Not that we don't love them to death, but you've got to be able to love that type of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
See, the temporary island on wheels is what we were thinking about for the studio.
So there's not enough space in my kitchen to do a temporary island on wheels. Now, what we could maybe do, so here's the big catch on the current setup. The dishwasher is right here and the kitchen sink is right here, okay? So then if we use that sink over there for the dishwasher, I'm gonna be dragging dirty dishes that I've rinsed across the floor to put in the dishwasher. So I could get a great big board and cover like the entire sink, but that would be really not for dishes. Then we're going to have a problem with dishes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Ah, thanks. Chandra gave us a $10 super cat for the new kitchen.
You.
Oh.
You
We still have a candle.
Do we still have what candle?
It's Tracy's birthday. Amazing Grace. Right.
Oh. Well, we got that one over there if you want.
Oh, that
Plus the Hallmark actors are like 32. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the other thing I was
going to say.
around.
When they get to be my age, it can get kind of scary, after they've been out in the sun for many, many years and things like that. And well, let's just say, they're more relaxed.
Tracy,
when it comes
are you
to
still
grooming.
on? Amazing Grace Ranch.
Happy
birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Tracy. Happy birthday to you. Yay! Jack, do the honors. Yay!
Oh dear,
Yay.
smoke always follows beauty, doesn't it, Jack? Oh dear. Oh.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, oh my god. Thanks, Graham. She gave us $5 super chat.
Thank you.
So here's the thing. Because we just moved, we dumped everything on the house. So we don't have our savings account built up like we did. I mean, we have some savings. So like if the car dies, we could replace it. But we don't have just a whole bunch of discretionary right now. So we're trying to wait through Christmas when we get all our Christmas sales and everything, get everything going before we do any of these big projects, because I'm practicing what I'm preaching. Even though I want a new kitchen right now, doesn't mean that I should get a new kitchen right now.
Although a new kitchen might be cheaper than checking you into a mental institute.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm
if you
starting to
think
get a
about
little
it.
concerned about myself, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. Would you remarry if you found a nice man?
Yeah, I would.
You would?
Yeah. Oh, thanks. If my children will let me, they would just
Well, I
croak,
don't
wouldn't they?
know.
They would just croak if I drug a guy home.
Gotta lock Mike in the basement so he doesn't tell the guy about you.
Oh, did you hear that from my son-in-law?
I don't know about that. That would be weird.
Oh, my word.
I'm just saying, that would be weird.
The only thing at my age, usually the guys that are my age, they're getting to the point where they more need
You'd be
somebody
a nurse
to take
more
care
than
of them.
life.
A nurse, like, than you do like a husband
I'd
type.
be more of a nurse than
I
a wife.
know. So that's why I'm a little bit hesitant at this
No.
point, you know.
You talk about the guys.
So unless he's really rich.
I stand for guys.
I don't know, Michael.
man.
You've been limping around here, so you're getting there pretty fast.
Everybody's asking, have you heard from my brother? How's his arm doing?
Yeah, last I knew it was doing. I talked to him a couple of days ago, and he can move his fingers, and he went back to work. So it looked really bad, though. It really was awful. He's going to have a wicked scar, but I'm just, like we said before, I'm so grateful it didn't cut the nerves or the tendons or any of the muscles or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So he was really lucky in that.
How old are you, Mother?
Jack, how old is Nan?
Jack?
I got the grandkids well trained.
Come here.
How old is Nan?
Hold on. Wait, you got to come on camera. Hold on. So
Tell them-
everybody wants to know how old Nan is. 27 years old.
27 years old. Do I have them well trained or what? I mean, I'm
No
27.
hesitation.
No
nothing.
hesitation,
That's 'cause
nothing.
He gets to eat as many fat boys as he
He
wants.
gets to eat all the candy and ice cream he wants. I'm 70. I just turned 70 this year, so.
Whoa!
Oh, thanks, son-in-law. Whoa.
Oh, Reginald Shannon says, hi from Dublin, Ireland.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
I miss being there.
Yes, we liked Dublin. It was pretty cool when we were there 2 years ago. Can't believe it's been 2 years. Let's see. You should marry someone a lot younger than you.
That's an idea. I didn't think about that. Wouldn't
There
my
you
kids
go.
love that? Just see their reaction. That'd be so funny.
That would be weird. That would be weird.
You know, out of orneriness, I should hire me a boyfriend.
Okay, that's
That
a
would be
little off the rails there.
and just bring them to you guys.
Barbara. Thank you so much. She went thrifting. Oh my goodness.
Those are pretty.
Oh.
Look at that.
Thank you.
Oh my.
So I don't know who these are for. Let's see. Did she say? She just said living on a dime.
Oh, look at the little snowman. It's got cardinals. Tara loves cardinals.
Oh my goodness.
How cute.
What is this?
Everybody's loving the laughter.
Oh my goodness. Oh, is that a ring holder?
It
Oh,
is.
that is cool.
That
Wow,
is
that
cute.
Mom and I are probably going to fight over that.
Oh, wow. Did they see that proper?
Oh,
Look at that.
oh my goodness. I don't know if that's for you, but it goes with your
Oh.
snowman collection if it does.
Oh,
Or my
wow. Or your
cardinal
cardinal. We'll have to
collection.
share it. Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. So it's for me. And this is for you to go buy you something.
Well, thank you. That is so sweet.
Barbara, you're so nice.
Oh,
Thank
my
you.
goodness. You guys spoil us. You really do. It's like Christmas all the time.
It's just like Christmas.
No, I want to tell you, I do.
Yep, that's fine.
I halfway laugh when I say how much we appreciate you. But I don't go out
Jack, come here.
and get me a whole lot of stuff. I just don't do it. I don't have a husband now that, gives me stuff. Tara's really good about doing stuff for me every once in a while. The kids do for my birthday, and Tara does stuff in between and everything. But I don't actually just go shopping and buying things. So to get little gifts and stuff like this really do mean a lot to me. I love getting them.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much.
Yeah. What money-saving books other than your own? Honestly, we don't read money-saving books.
No, I don't.
Reginald says he's free and he's 54, healthy and thrifty.
Reginald, free 54, healthy and thrifty. That's good. All the qualifications
And in
there.
Dublin, too.
In Dublin. Well, okay, now that's just a no-brainer there.
So Jack is, I think, on his way up. Just a second. So someone said, "Are the deer leaving my plants alone?"
Oh, wait till you see this, you guys.
So
Okay.
here's what they did to Mom.
Okay, I broke down. I don't buy, like I said, I don't buy a whole lot of stuff. I haven't had many plants for years. My daughter-in-law gets me one on Mother's Day, but outside plants, I don't have a lot. When I moved here, I thought they had a mum. I haven't had mums for 15 years or more. And I thought, oh, I'm going to get me a mum. And this was before I bought my house, but it was only $1.47. I thought, I'm going to treat myself. It was beautiful, full of blossoms. I go out there and look at this. It was full of blossoms. Well, to make matters even worse, I left it out there. And the next day I watched that silly Bambi come up, and not only did she not just eat everything, she picked it up out of the pot and started walking off with it. And what did I say? I ran upstairs and I said, get me the gun, Michael. Bambi is going to be dead meat. Look at that. I could have shot her, literally.
So here's my motto on deer and plants. I always plant 4 for the deer and 1 for me.
Oh.
So that hopefully I have something left. Usually, so people don't know this, but I have lived in 4 or 5 houses that have had deer or elk eating my plants. And so I know how to deal with deer or elk. But for me, the majority of what I'm going to do is I have a deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to line my deck with planters next year for most everything until I can get a greenhouse built or something. But for perennials and stuff, I put them in the ground. I just try to put enough for the deer and enough for me so that they eat what they want. And then what I do is I don't plant anything that I really value.
Yeah.
So something that I can't replace.
Well, I valued that. And I'm not sure I can replace it at this point.
Well, actually, did you mention about when I cut the trees?
Oh, yeah. So Mike has been trimming some of the trees. And so he had a huge pile at the end of the driveway there. And the other day, I don't have the footage. The other day, there was 7 deer out feasting on I got video footage of it. So I'm going to put it on do a video on it and show you guys. But yeah, so Ruth says they're celebrating their 50th anniversary Saturday.
Congratulations.
Wow, good job not killing them. Good job
not killing them.
Noah's Ark says you don't look 70.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Don't encourage her.
Michael says, don't encourage me.
Let's see. Oh,
Pepper spray. Miss T says pepper spray.
Pepper spray. So I am putting Irish Spring. When we lived in Kansas and had a deer issue, I just grated up Irish Spring and put it. They were eating my fruit trees I planted.
They don't like the clean, fresh smell.
Yeah.
But now I do have
that.
to tell you the ending of this. I was just almost in tears over my silly plant because when I buy something, I think about it a long time and do I do it? So, it's really a loss to me. My daughter went, was the next day or the day after, and she went and bought me another big, huge mum that was even bigger. So see, I've got the best daughter. She does stuff.
We almost had deer for dinner though.
Yeah, I was this close. I don't know how to shoot a gun, but I would have figured it out real fast.
Oh,
I had one.
Yeah,
It says you remind her of her late Nana.
Oh, thank you.
There was something else somebody said on here and I lost. Oh, shoot. They asked me something. Margaret, I put our new P.O. box in there for you. It's P.O. Box 6837, Sheridan, Wyoming, 82801 now. Let's see. Somebody said something about Sheridan. Oh, crud. I think it scrolled off. Why do your kids whisper in the background when you're filming and walking around in the background? Because this is our home.
Yeah, this is our life.
I'm not going to tell my kids to go hide in the corner when we're shooting a show.
We shoot videos sometimes all day long, at different times. Yeah. We do this constantly. So if we kept them quiet through everything, they would never be able to talk to us.
Well, it's funny that they whisper, but
yeah, at least they're really good about it. They're not
and they're not interrupting.
Yeah, and they wait until we have a pause and everything.
They're kind of part of why people love the show.
And we've been doing this since they were little, since they were smaller. And so it's just kind of like part of their life now. And the people like talking to them too.
So Deborah says, my grandmother said at my age, they're either looking for a nurse or a purse.
That is so true. That is so true.
What is the square footage of our house? So our main house is 4,700 square feet. And then we have a 2,000 square foot garage. And I know all these minimalists are going to say, oh, you're one of the McMansions. Listen, I'm all for tiny house living. I'm all for minimalist living. That's fine if that's what you want. But for us, we have so many kids moving in and out. As a matter of fact, our oldest may be moving up here soon because of that thing going around. They may close down where he's working. So he may drive his RV up here and be living on the property again. But like mom's coming to visit, the whole downstairs, everybody says, oh, that's a huge house. But when you think about it, it's 4,700 square feet, split in half.
Mm-hmm.
So upstairs is only about 2,300 square feet.
Well, you've got 3 bedrooms.
Yeah.
And they're not huge. The boys' bedrooms.
So
are
our whole
huge.
living space is upstairs. All of our living space is upstairs. The only thing we have downstairs is the office, and then the extra family room and kitchen and bedroom if we need or want for company. So even though it sounds like it's huge, but we have a lot of storage space in this house too. I probably have a good 500 to 700 square feet.
Oh yeah,
of
I've never
storage.
seen anything like the storage in this house.
Yeah, so it's really, everybody says, oh, that's a lot to clean. No, I'm really only cleaning on a regular basis 2,300 square feet because I'm not going to have to go downstairs to clean unless we have company or once every 3 to 6 months to dust.
Plus,
So-
this is their business. I mean, they have their
Yeah.
business
Yeah.
here in their
Half the
home.
basement is business.
So half of the stuff is for the business. It's almost like they had to buy. A lot of people, when they have a business, they go and pay for a big building to have offices and everything. Tara and Mike have it all here in their home type of thing. So you've got to keep in mind it is a business
Yeah.
where you have to have that too.
If we didn't have the
And-
business, we wouldn't need.
And even
Such a big
looking to the
place.
future, if something would happen and they wouldn't have the business anymore or they were going to retire, they now have the whole downstairs that if they needed to earn extra income or money, they could use it as rental property down there. So it was a good investment in that way
Yeah.
because they can rent it in the future if
Because-
they have to.
There's a huge housing shortage here in Sheridan. And right now we could rent where mom's staying for $950 a month.
Oh yeah, easy.
Easy.
Probably
And
It's
more.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would think way more than that. 'Cause-
so, well, the one place that I saw was really similar to that, and they were asking $950. And I mean, and they're going like that. Like they
Mhm.
have 50 people waiting in line.
And that's
And
something
it's-
to think about. People say, well, what are you doing about retirement and things like that? Well, if they get like Social Security or even have any small amount of retirement, if they rent something out like that downstairs, they will have plenty to live off of,
Yeah.
more than
Yeah.
plenty. So think of that if you're getting to be, I started to say my age, but I guess it's more like you guys' age. When you buy a home, you might think, do I have an upstairs that I could rent, or a basement, this house that I could rent, or even above a garage, a little rental. And then you can use that for income, because we used our home when we first got married even. We rented the whole upstairs for an apartment, and that paid for our mortgage and part of our utilities. So,
Yeah.
you got to think of things like that. So.
Well, and we did have to get a mortgage on this, but we have worked and worked and worked, and our other house was paid off. Plus, we had saved about $150,000 in cash that on top of that. And so we put all of that on this house. And so we decided to go ahead and do it because we would have had to spend the $1,500 a month getting a warehouse to put the books, or on this place. Well, we'd rather spend the $1,500 a month putting it on our own place and then just work off paying this again
renting storage for the books
instead of having to rent a storage place for the books.
'Cause once we pay it off, we won't have to keep paying it. But if
Yeah.
we rented it, we would have to keep paying it.
Yeah, so once we paid it off, we wouldn't have to keep running it. So, that was just a decision we made. We were trying to stay totally debt free because, that's what we really want to do. But it should only take us a year or two to pay it off, probably 2 years to pay it off. So we're not too worried about it. I mean, yeah, I know the economy could totally collapse or something, but you know, that was a risk that we just decided to take. So, and somebody, I lost the comment, said, can't you plant this? Actually, yes, I'm going to go plant it. So
That's why I didn't throw it out. I've been watering it and babying it.
So I think it will come out. And actually we had the problem today. So Mom and I were out in the garage and we cleaned the 1/4 of the garage, which just is so glorious. We got the one corner cleared, but we were measuring for the books because even though they're not coming for a month, we were trying to figure out where to put stuff. Oh my goodness. It's going to be so beautiful. I'm not going to have to drip over pallets. We can just put all the pallets of books in there and I can still have a shipping area.
See, before she was trying to work, she just had this little table area and work around all these pallets of books and stuff. But now she's actually going to have a nice big table area to pack things and that type of thing.
Yeah. You have to make sure that your town allows basement rental for your home. So ours does. That's one of the reasons why we moved to Wyoming, because they have some of the best laws in the country because they're very conservative here. So they don't believe in a lot of government
rules and regulations.
So yeah. Let's see. All right. And okay, sorry. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Yes, dear. Oh, okay. So Mike says we're yakking too much.
No, I'm okay with that. Just so you know.
Are you going to do a house tour once you're settled? Maybe?
Yeah, I maybe will. But it's going to take time. We don't even close on the house until the end of September. And so I have to get stuff moved in. I have basically no furniture. So it's going to take me a month or two to get furniture. And I'm going to be baking gingerbread men, trying to do that at that same time. So it may be closer to January or so. We might do an outside tour, maybe a little bit or something.
They'll have to recover from my kitchen chainsaw first.
But I will do a video on it for you guys because I know you're pretty anxious to see it. So,
all right. So, have I ever done a salt cave before? I have not done a salt cave, but I actually would like to do a salt cave. I think that would be pretty cool, actually. Deborah, how are you paying it off so soon? We are trying, but something always needs to be fixed. So, for us, we bought a house that was in really good condition. So we're not doing a fixer-upper on our house.
Except for the kitchen.
Well, except for chainsawing the kitchen. But when you have to keep it in perspective. So if you're remodeling a house, yes, you're spending a lot of money and a lot of time remodeling a house. But let's say you spend $50,000, $100,000 remodeling your house. If your house is dumpy enough in the first place, no offense, but if your house is dumpy enough in the first place, and then you put $50,000 or $100,000 in there, is that going to actually make you money later by fixing up the house? So you're putting in sweat equity instead of just buying a house already done. You see what I'm saying? See, we could have bought a house that was $250,000 cheaper, and we could have put, $100,000 into it, fixing it up, and it would have been worth more. But right now, our focus for us is building our business. And so we didn't want to spend a whole lot of time doing a house renovation, which actually probably would have been a good YouTube channel. But we didn't want to spend all our time and energy doing a house renovation where we're trying to build our YouTube channels and our business. So don't be discouraged when you're fixing a house. You got to look at the long term, like for Mom, well, your house isn't the best example, but Mom's original house, they spent like $10,000 for it and put all this sweat equity in fixing it up. And then you got, what was it? $50,000, $70,000?
It was $56,000.
56. Okay. So this was 25 years ago, but what I'm saying is, don't get really discouraged.
What was the question? I didn't.
Well, she was saying, how do you pay off your house when you're having to fix stuff all the time? So get your stuff fixed up and then focus on getting your house paid off, I guess is what I'm saying. She was getting discouraged because they're fixing up their house and everything keeps breaking. And so they have to put money into that. So how is she paying? How can you pay off your house?
A lot of that was learning to fix our own thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Learn to try to do as many things as you can yourself. That's where you save huge amounts of money.
Because one thing, years ago, we just could not afford to have anyone come out. But if you have a plumber or electrician or a handyman or something, it's probably going to cost $200 an hour for their time. And some places you can't do like electrical work yourself. But for us, it's just been learning how to do more things so we don't have to pay people to do those things. And we've saved a ton of money that way.
Yeah, and then you'll save.
Now, of course, we're thinking we want to invest more in the business. And so sometimes it's not worth us doing something ourselves, like working on the car.
Yeah.
And so we will pay conservatively. Like we won't pay a crazy amount of money, and we don't soup up the car into a hot rod. But we do fix things before they break when we know they're on their way that direction, which we didn't used to do. So I don't work on cars anymore. And there are things though that the more we've realized that we can do ourselves in that sense, the more money we've saved, and we dump it right into the house.
And one thing too, when you get stuff, keep it really, really simple. Like the newer refrigerators, they got all these bells and whistles on them. There's that many more things to go wrong. I just have a simple refrigerator. I don't have an ice maker on it, no water dispenser, nothing. I keep it really simple. If you're wanting to pay your house off. Now, if you're living in your house and you want a nice refrigerator for all the time, that's a different story. But we're talking if you want to get your house paid off, when you buy things simple that don't have a lot of parts and belt stuff to go wrong on them. And that'll mean less for you to have to fix and repair. And if something does happen to go wrong with those simple things, usually it's easier for the average person to figure out how to repair them then. So keep that in mind when you're buying stoves, refrigerators, replacing a sink, don't do something really super fancy or anything like that.
So Dixie Girl says, that's the problem. My husband wants me to hire people to fix everything and we don't have the money. I would like to just sell as is. So if you're selling your house, don't fix anything. I guess maybe if you have some major something that needs to be fixed, but here's the thing. Realtors will go in and say, oh, remodel your kitchen and it'll increase the value, $10,000, but it costs you $15,000 to remodel your kitchen.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense. So in that situation, make sure that what you actually need to be fixed actually needs to be fixed, and you will get a return on your investment on your money. If you don't make at least double the amount of money that you put into it, it's not worth it.
And you need to sit down with a pen and paper and actually do some calling. Call a plumber, say, how much are you going to charge to fix this or do that, and get some numbers written down, and then add that up and figure out what you want to get, what you think you'll get out of the house, and look at it and say, but you can sell a house as is. My house was beyond as is, wasn't it?
Yeah.
My house was just, I thought there's no way I'm going to even get the money back that I paid for this house 18 years ago. I didn't even think I was going to get that much for it because it was so run down. Mm-hmm. But I got it all cleaned up. And these people said, we want it as is. You'd be surprised because they wanted to totally fix it up.
They wanted to fix it up like themselves.
They wanted to do it the way they wanted. So there's a lot of people that love to have a house that they can get for a little bit cheaper as is.
And when we were looking, I kind of wanted that because I wanted to put in the kitchen that I wanted. So I'll be honest, we were looking for a fixer-upper. I was looking for something from the 50s or 60s that hadn't been remodeled, that I could remodel the kitchen the way I wanted and make it functional the way I wanted. So, yeah. And so Jennifer says she barters with her neighbors. She exchanges babysitting for handyman work. That's,
Oh,
look
yeah,
for,
that's a
see if
good
you can
idea,
find
Jennifer.
people like that,
Mhm.
or could you cook dinners for them or something,
Yeah.
I don't know what you could do, but yeah. So Denise wants to know if it's been smoky for us. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Denise. You can keep your own smoke. Thank you very much.
Like I say every time, I think of you poor guys in California and that area in Idaho and all that.
They don't
Oh, my
have any
goodness.
because it's all blown
It's
here.
blowing here.
It's actually been awful.
It has
It's
been pretty bad.
really bad. I mean, it's been
But we-
making us physically ill. It's
We've
been
had
so
it. We
bad,
had it in
yeah.
Kansas too. Before I moved, we had it equally as bad as in
Yeah.
Kansas from you guys. No offense,
But it does make us feel bad for the people. who
I
live
know.
really
We
close.
totally sympathize with you guys. I don't know how you're handling
Yeah,
it.
I mean, the smoke has actually been really, really bad.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's see. She says, spare the air day again. I don't know what that means. Not as smoky, but it's really hot, 103. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, that's why I don't live in California. Jennifer says it's really smoky in Boulder too. Okay, let's see. Yes.
Hair Chick is asking if I have the link for the 1949 kitchen.
Here, I'll get it. I'll get it real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, because I really wanted to do my own kitchen because I know what I really like and want. I want a functional kitchen. My problem is I'm too much of an efficient person. I should be an efficiency person because it drives me nuts having to do extra steps when I shouldn't have to do that. But yeah. Okay, so why did we say we're closing on the house instead of just you? I'm buying the house with mom so that if mom croaks, it'll be in my name.
I wanted one of the kids
Yeah.
on it, or both
So
of the kids or
then
something on it.
I'll just sell it and give half the proceeds to my brother. Then is how we'll do
You
it.
do it
But
that
we
way.
just did it that way to save.
At my age,
Not a what's the
Inheritance.
taxes? Inheritance tax.
inheritance tax.
Yeah.
At my age, if something would happen and I wasn't able to do something with the house because it needed to be
Yeah.
sold or whatever,
Yeah.
then she can do it.
Or if I just wanted some money and just decided to sell.
Decide to sell it. Listen to you.
Josephina, Mike totally believed Tara was going to chainsaw it on Monday. I've seen it
Do
happen.
you know what that would do to our YouTube channel? Oh my goodness, I should just do it. Wife chainsaws kitchen while husband is away. His reaction. I've even got the title right there for you, dear. I'm telling you, I see it.
Husband books flight to Ireland while other people fix the kitchen.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Let's see. Anything else that we need to chainsaw remodel? I'm telling you. All right, guys, 35% off all of our cookbooks. We have gluten-free right now. So if you need gluten-free by itself, make a separate order. Otherwise, everything will come in 35% off. Pre-ordering, we expect them around October 25th. For all of you guys asking really quick, why do we order our books from South Korea? Because Americans won't work with us. We tried and tried and tried. We had an American company and they totally ruined all our books and then they didn't fix them correctly. So then we went looking for a new American printer. We're too big for the small printers and we're too small for the big printers. Nobody wants to work with us when we're a medium publisher. Medium publisher. And so that's why our books are printed in South Korea.
We printed here in the States for years.
As a matter of fact, it looks like the planners are out. We even talked to a local person trying to get planners for this year. And I think we're not going to get planners. I mean, they were supposed to get me. We went 10 days ago to get a quote and they haven't even gotten back to me. So I think we're just shot on the planners for this year too. To try and get American people to work with you is almost impossible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're having, because we'd
awful.
rather do it here, but
it's absolutely awful. I mean,
and then add to that, because of the past year and everything, printers here in the States were having trouble just getting paper shipped from, I think a lot of the paper comes from China and over there to the printers here in the States. So the printers here were having trouble, getting paper just to print the books and stuff.
Yeah,
But
so
is
it's been a
mostly-
nightmare.
It is mostly though the size of our company.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, we're in the middle where nobody wants
Nobody
us.
wants us. I was just going to say the same thing, Michael. Nobody wants
Nobody
us.
wants us. And guys, I mean, I'm not kidding. We have called printer
Oh,
after
they
printer
have. They've
after
spent
printer. And
hours researching and trying to find.
we finally got to the point where we're like, we can't waste any more time on this because we have work to do. So if somebody's actually willing to work with us, even if it's South Korea, then we're gonna take it. And they're happy to work with us and they're willing to work with us.
Yeah, and they're pretty fast and efficient and everything
yeah.
too.
Now the only problem this year was a thing going around.
Yeah,
They only have half the amount of boats running, and so our shipment didn't get on an earlier boat. So that's what happened. So anyway, yeah.
Sorry. Someone earlier asked about a number of people haven't been on for a while, and they're wondering if you're going to do soap ever again.
Am I gonna do soap ever again? So probably when we get the new studio set up, I will do soap again, maybe. But I'm taking a break right now because I don't have time to do it. And I honestly don't have a place to do it. I can't do it in this kitchen. And we don't have the studio set up yet. So I don't really have a place I can do it right now. I guess I could do it outside. Well, I can't really do it outside because it's too noisy outside is part of the problem. Because when the wind blows here, it messes with the microphone. So that's Judy says I need to check yard sales for a chainsaw.
Yeah, ours is expensive enough.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so all right. So guys, that's it. Please visit us at livingonadime.com. We will see you on
Wednesday.
Well, I have a
week.
video coming out Friday and Monday, but yeah.
Bye.
So, see you later.
Bye-bye, guys.
livingonadime.com.
Bye.
Whoops.